Welcome to Wonderslate. Subscribe to our Telegram channel given in the description to updates and study materials. Topic for today's quiz is Biomolecules. Question number 1. Which one of the following characteristics best applies to an allosteric effector? Option A. Competes with a substrate for the catalytic site. Option B. Binds to a site on the enzyme molecule distinct from the catalytic site. Option C. Changes the nature of the product formed. Option D. Changes substrate specificity of the enzyme. The correct answer is Option B. Binds to a site on the enzyme molecule distinct from the catalytic site. Allosteric regulation, or allosteric control, is the regulation of a protein by the binding of an effector molecule at a site other than the protein's active site. The site to which the effector binds is termed the allosteric site. After binding, the active site is changed in such a way that the activity of the enzyme is either increased or decreased. Question number 2. A segment of DNA has 120 adenine and 120 cytosine bases. The total number of nucleotides present in the segment is _. Option A. 120. Option B. 240. Option C. 360. Option D. 480. The correct answer is Option D. 480. According to Chargaff's rules, the amount of adenine is always equal to that of thymine, and the amount of guanine is always equal to that of cytosine, that is A equals T, 120, and G equals A, 120. Therefore, the total No of nucleotides would be 120 times 4 equals 480. Question number 3. The key element which forms the skeleton of organic molecules on Earth is _. Option A. Hydrogen. Option B. Carbon. Option C. Water. Option D. Nitrogen. The correct answer is Option B. Carbon. Organic molecules are defined as any molecule with carbon in it. Hence, all organic molecules usually have chains of carbon as the backbone of the molecule. Question number 4. In carbohydrates, the ratio of hydrogen to oxygen is _. Option A. 3:1. Option B. 2:1. Option C. 1:1. Option D. 2:2. The correct answer is Option B. 2:1. The basic composition of a carbohydrate is hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. Each of them are bound in the carbohydrate molecule, adhering to the generalized formula for carbohydrate, CxH2OY. Question number 5. Which of the following are conjugated proteins? Option A. Hemoglobin. Option B. Hemocyanin. Option C. Lecithin-proteins. Option D. All of these. The correct answer is Option D. All of these. A conjugated protein is a protein that functions by interacting with other, non-polypeptide, chemical groups by forming a covalent bond or other weak interactions. Example: hemoglobin conjugated to a heme group. Hemocyanin contains a molecule with copper as the central atom, and lecithin-proteins are proteins conjugated to lecithin. Question number 6. Carbon is a key component of all known life on Earth. Why? Option A. Carbon can bond with carbon to form long chains. Option B. Carbon has 4 valence electrons. Option C. Both A and B. Option D. Carbon is the only element capable of catenation. The correct answer is Option C. Both A and B. Carbon is the key component of all life on Earth because complex molecules are made up of carbon bonded with itself due to its property of catenation. Complex molecules are made up of carbon bonded with other elements, especially oxygen, hydrogen and nitrogen, and carbon can bond with all of these because of its 4 valence electrons. 3. It is also lightweight and relatively small in size, making it easier for enzymes to manipulate carbon molecules. But carbon is not the only element capable of catenation. Elements such as silicon, sulfur and boron can also form catenae. Question number 7. About 98% of the mass of every living organism is composed of just 6 elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, _. Option A. Phosphorus and sulfur. Option B. Calcium and phosphorus. Option C. Sulfur and magnesium. Option D. Magnesium and sodium. The correct answer is option B. Calcium and phosphorus. Living organisms require 6 elements in large amounts: C, O, N, Ca, H and P. These elements contribute to the structural organization of living organisms. Calcium is utilized for the formation of bones and as conducting molecules. Phosphorus is an important constituent of nucleic acids and, even more importantly, in ATP as the fuel source for all life. Nitrogen is a constituent of amino acids and nitrogenous bases. Carbon as the backbone/connector for every molecule, hence life on Earth is carbon-based, and oxygen and hydrogen as the universal solvent, water. Question number 8. All the following are coenzymes except option A. NAD. Option B. VLDL. Option C. FAD. Option D. FMN. The correct answer is option B. VLDL. VLDL stands for very low density lipoprotein. It is not a coenzyme. Question number 9. Among the following, which 2 carbon atoms form the glycosidic bond to form sucrose molecule? Option A. Carbon 1 of glucose and carbon 4 of fructose. Option B. Carbon 2 of glucose and carbon 1 of fructose. Option C. Carbon 1 of glucose and carbon 2 of fructose. Option D. Carbon 4 of glucose and carbon 1 of fructose. The correct answer is option C. Carbon 1 of glucose and carbon 2 of fructose. As shown in the image here, the glycosidic link in sucrose is formed between the C1 of glucose and C2 of fructose. Question number 10. Which of the following proteins is a constituent of nails, hair and feathers? Option A. Keratin sulfate. Option B. Keratin. Option C. Collagen. Option D. Elastin. The correct answer is option B. Keratin. Keratin, a fibrous protein forming the main structural constituent of hair, feathers, hoofs, claws, horns, etc. Question number 11. Which of the following are simple lipids? Option A. Wax. Option B. Lecithin. Option C. Cephalin. Option D. None of these. The correct answer is option A. Wax. A simple lipid is a fatty acid ester of different alcohols and carries no other substance. Waxes are simple lipids. Question number 12. It is the presence of underscore that defines if a compound is organic or not. Option A. Carbon and hydrogen. Option B. Hydrogen and sulfur. Option C. Nitrogen and hydrogen. Option D. Hydrogen and silicon. The correct answer is option A. Carbon and hydrogen. Organic compounds are compounds of carbon and hydrogen found in biological systems. These compounds can contain other elements such as nitrogen, phosphorus and oxygen etc. but it is the presence of carbon that determines whether it is an organic molecule. Question number 13. Arrange the biomolecules, carbohydrates, C, proteins, P, lipids, L, and nucleic acids, N, in a decreasing order of their mass percentages in the composition of biological matter of a cell. Option A. C greater than N greater than P greater than L. Option B. P greater than N greater than C greater than L. Option C. P greater than C greater than L greater than N. Option D. P greater than N greater than L greater than C. The correct answer is option D. P greater than N greater than L greater than C. In animals, by percentages of composition of cellular mass, proteins, P, occupy the major portion in forming living matter. Most structural and functional units of life is made up of proteins. This is followed by the genetic material, which is formed by nucleic acids, N, lipids forming the membrane layer of cells and cell organelles come third. And lastly, carbohydrates, C, are found as structural and functional support to proteins, and is stored in the cell as glycogen. Question number 14. The function of ligases is option A, oxidation, option B, reduction, option C, synthesis by condensation, option D, group transfer reaction. The correct answer is option C, synthesis by condensation. A ligase is an enzyme that can catalyze the joining of two large molecules by forming a new chemical bond. Oxidation and reduction are carried out by oxidoreductases and group transfer reactions are carried out by transferases. Question number 15. The glycosidic bond formation does not. Option A. Involve the interaction of the H atom of one monosaccharide and the O of another monosaccharide. Option B. Leads to the formation of a polysaccharide/oligosaccharide. Option C. Leads to the release of water molecule. Option D. Involve addition of water molecule. The correct answer is option D. Involve addition of water molecule. Glycosidic bond is a condensation reaction between two sugar units, where the H group from one sugar interacts with the O group on another to release water and link the sugar units together to form a polysaccharide. Question number 16. The chemical name of vitamin C is _. Option A. Ascorbic acid. Option B. Citric acid. Option C. Folic acid. Option D. Nicotinic acid. The correct answer is option A. Ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid. Question number 17. Which of the following is not a biomolecule? Option A. Methane. Option B. Ammonia. Option C. HCl. Option D. None of them. The correct answer is option D. None of them. A biomolecule is any molecule that is produced by living organisms, including larger macromolecules such as proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids, as well as smaller molecules such as primary metabolites, secondary metabolites, and other natural products. A generalized term for this class of materials is biological materials. The bacteria in our gut produce methane as a byproduct of digestion. Ammonia is produced as a byproduct of protein metabolism, and HCl is produced by our very own stomachs to digest everything we eat, making all the three biomolecules. Question number 18. Which model of enzyme action is represented in the given image? Option A. Lock and key. Option B. Induced fit. Option C. Michaelis-Menten. Option D. None of them. The correct answer is option B. Induced fit. In the image given here, the substrates do not fit into the enzyme active site like a lock and key. Instead, the substrates induces a change in the enzyme active site on binding the enzyme, thereby enabling the interaction between the substrates and formation of products. Therefore, the representation shown here is the induced fit model of enzyme action. Question number 19. Underscore are the most diverse molecules in the cell. Option A. Carbohydrates. Option B. Lipids. Option C. Proteins. Option D. Vitamins and minerals. The correct answer is option C. Proteins. Proteins show enormous diversity because of different proportions and combinations of 21 amino acids within the protein molecule. A large number of permutations and combinations of these amino acids are responsible for the almost unlimited variety of proteins. Proteins are the most abundant and most varied of the macromolecules, having one or more polypeptides, chains of amino acids. The proteins constitute almost 50% of the total dry weight of the cell. Question number 20. The term used to describe the process by which DNA is copied to produce two dotted DNA molecules is underscore. Option A. Replication. Option B. Transcription. Option C. Translation. Option D. Duplication. The correct answer is option A. Replication. Reproduction is the term used for the overall physiological process by which new progeny are produced in a particular species. Any other term refers to molecular processes. Replication is the copying of DNA into two daughter DNA molecules. Transcription is the term used to describe how the genetic code relevant for the synthesis of one protein, a gene, is copied from DNA to form messenger RNA. Translation is the process by which the genetic code for a specific protein, carried in messenger RNA, is used for the synthesis of that protein. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd like practice this quiz, then download the Wonderslate app now, link in the description below. If you have any suggestion for us, feel free to leave comments. If you liked the video and want to see more of it, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to click on subscribe button to get more updates of the future videos.